What chicken, everybody? Ross Mandel coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. I got a special guest for you today. His name is Maverick Bailey. He's a multifaceted entrepreneur. He's a content creator, but he's best known as the owner of Conspired TV. I want to just say quick hello, everybody. Maverick, what a name. Maverick Bailey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me. That was a great introduction. I gotta steal that.
Shaking, man.
A lot.
What's shaking?
A lot, for sure.
First of all, is Maverick Bailey, that can't be your real name.
It is. It is my real name.
What, your parents must have seen like Top Gun?
Yeah.
Said, where does
19
Maverick come from?
I'm 1985, man. I'm born in 1985. So, 80s baby.
You're born in 85, and that's the name on your birth certificate, Maverick Bailey.
It is. It is.
That's so cool, bro. Like that could be like my stage name. Maverick Bailey. That's a great name.
You should be Maverick, what? Maverick Mandel then.
Maverick Mandel. Well, I'll go with Maverick. If I'm going to change my name, I might as well go all the way, right?
Eminem.
That is a big name to live up to. What pressure on a young boy? What's your name? Maverick. I mean, bro.
Yeah.
You got to be a little bit of a stud, in growing up.
Yeah. I've always kind of, marched to the beat of my own drum. So I've always done things my way, and having that kind of name just, it stuck with me to where I not like I had to live up to it, but at the same time, I felt like you can't be, Maverick, just, no offense if you work at McDonald's, but you just can't be like working at McDonald's or T-Mobile or some shit. And
you can't really be a punk. I mean, you got to be like a guy, I just see you from your, across your shoulder girdle and your face, they look like dreads. It looks beautiful. You're a handsome guy. How tall are you?
I'm 5'9", so I'm not like
I'm
crazy tall. There you go.
About 180?
About 165.
Of course you are. I'm 5'9", like 200. I'm old and heavy. But when I was a young dude, you're so 85. You're like turning 40, correct?
Next week, I am.
Bro. So Aquarian, right?
Well, actually, I'm on the cusp.
On the cusp.
Capricorn Aquarius. I'm the 20th, so I'm on the cusp. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
You're really on the cusp. I get it.
But the thing is, I am a triple Capricorn, because if you do your chart, I'm actually a triple Capricorn for my moon, ascending, and all that stuff. So I'm all about stability, all about the paper.
I love that. We're going to talk about all that stuff. I just want to say, a lot of people frown at things like astrology. And, one thing that I have learned in my 67 years, whenever I meet anybody, and this is going back since before I'm your age, 40 years, I ask people when their birthday is. I'm not an identity thief, but I want to know what their sign is. I find there is a common thread through the various signs. Like women, all the women in my life, the most meaningful women have been, Sagittarians. I've been with, Leos and, Capricorns and et cetera and so forth.
Which one's your favorite?
But I understand there is something to astrology. It is, it's not bullshit. I'm just going to say it, I'm going to say it straight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to astrology, millionaires don't believe it, but billionaires do. Like they have a whole different way of thinking than from the average millionaire. So like that. And they believe in things and they see things much further than the average millionaire. So that's why they're billionaires. And I think that you have to have a different mindset and a different outlook to even reach that type of status.
I get it. But I just want you to know, I've been a millionaire for 40 years and I believe it. So I just want you to understand that. Did I say, 40 years? That's correct.
Wow.
But let's talk about you. When we look at Maverick Bailey, my staff says you're a very interesting cat.
Do they?
You're a guy that they wanted me to meet in this forum. And they say that there's a streaming channel that is dedicated to what the world is now calling alternative news. Conspiracies, unexplained phenomena, that kind of thing. And we're starting to see all the conspiracy theories of the last 10 years, all coming true. Guess what? The major news media, the corporate media, it's all full of shit.
Yeah,
they lie. It's agenda driven.
Legacy media is done.
Quote unquote conspiracy theories. Guess what? They're all being revealed to be true. And I don't want to get into the whole thing. I don't want to get canceled, but talk to us about, first let's find out your life. Where you born? Where you from? Where'd you grow up? Tell us about your life. Take us back for a minute.
Yeah. Well, first, just touching on that, legacy media is done. They've been lying to us for a long time. And these conspiracy theories, I say the difference between a conspiracy and the truth is 6 to 12 months. So
you actually put a time frame on that. I love it, bro.
Yeah, because everything that was a conspiracy, all of a sudden, that one thing we're talking about last year, that happened to be true, but let's move on. But like, wait, hold on. No, that was true. But yeah, so I grew up in Los Angeles, born and raised there. And
whereabouts? What part?
If you're familiar with Southern California, I'm from the Valley, San Fernando Valley.
Oh, you're a Valley dude. Okay.
Valley guy.
Okay, I get it, bro.
Yeah. So I grew up there.
A lot of friends there. I'm there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a great place, man. And then it just turned into something else. And it's terrible right now what's happening with the fires and whatnot.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine 1,700 firefighters were fired in Los Angeles because they refused to get the COVID shot.
Wow.
Now we're finding out that they were the smart ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
More people got sick from the vaccine than they got sick from COVID. It's nuts. 1,700 and that half their equipment was not sold, just sent to the Ukraine in 2022.
And the thing about that, and then I don't want to touch too much because I don't want your channel to get banned, because I've gotten banned and had videos taken down when I was talking about the jab and all that stuff. But really, that's, for one, good for them. Two, if you guys really did a deep dive on what's in those things and what it does to your body, and when it comes to, first of all, your constitutional rights, none of that stuff is legal. It's illegal. It's against your constitutional rights. They can't mandate anything. Say, hey, if you don't take this, you're losing your job.
Yeah, they can't do that. You to put something in your body. Listen. I'm very familiar with all this, and I want to get to that. But I want to talk about Maverick Bailey. So you're a Valley dude, man.
Valley guy.
I picture you smoking weed, hanging out. You know what I mean, chilling. And, but you cross over at some point, because you have an active mind, and you got a streaming channel, and you're trying to lend value and credibility to the world that the legacy media has been sort of ignoring or purposely hiding. So now you're growing up in the Valley. Talk to us. Mom and dad raised you? Mom and dad?
Mom and dad raised me. I went to El Camino, which is in Woodland Hills. And it was a cool growing up there, man. It's much different than what it is now. And, back then it was, simpler times. It was a good mixture of people that, I grew up around, black, white, Asian, everybody. So it was a melting pot.
I know Woodland Hills. So you had a nice sort of childhood growing up. It wasn't, wasn't oppressive and all these different things. And you're a good-looking boy, so
appreciate it.
Had friends and women and all these different things. And so now what happens? You go to college. You graduate high school. You go to college.
So I graduated high school, and then I went off to college in Georgia. Went to a private college there, and
all the way from LA. You find a private college in Georgia.
Yeah, man.
That's interesting. That makes a statement a little bit to me.
Yeah, it was a switch of pace, and I hated it. And then I was like, this isn't for me. Came back to LA, and then
what school? Can I ask what school?
Yeah, it was called Payne College, which is in Augusta, Georgia.
Payne
College, which is a private college. It's a small private college.
Like P-A-I-N?
Yeah. E at the end. But yeah,
Yeah, okay, I get it, like Thomas Paine. But I just
yeah,
like, that's crazy stuff. Like, I don't know what would make you go there. There's so many great places to go in LA and in New York,
yeah.
Florida, Michigan, all around the country.
Right, right. And then I went back to LA and I was like, this isn't for me. It was too slow, and went
I get
back,
it.
and then I went to college, and I didn't finish college because, by the time I was about 2021, I got into real estate. And then from there I was making so much money from real estate. I'm like, well, I really don't need college because I don't want to be in debt. And it's a vicious cycle with college. I think college is a scam. And
It
to
is
be
a scam.
honest,
Big
I think
scam.
that,
It's
yeah.
finally now being realized. I knew it was a scam 45 years ago when I was in college, but I get it. I get it today. Now it's finally being revealed. You know what I'm saying? Like many
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Did
Like
you finish
many
college?
things.
You went for all
I
4
actually
years?
finished. I graduated from the University of Maryland in 3.5 years, a half year early. But basically, all I did was party and hang out and date women and run around, and I learned nothing. The only thing I can say college was for me, I met a lot of guys, like sort of like-minded guys. I made friends with people, women and men, believe it or not. I actually endowed the college. I gave the University of Maryland in 2002 after I went public my first time. I gave them $500,000. I have a crazy story. I went to prison. I was indicted. I spent 9 years, 4 months in federal custody. But
Wow.
the University of Maryland still is bringing, through my charitable endowment, three wonderful men and women students. They couldn't afford to go to the business school. It's called the Leaders for Tomorrow program, and I put in 500,000, and the school matched it. And then a guy named Tom McMillan, a former congressman, former NBA basketball player, Rhodes Scholar, etc., helped organize and put the whole thing together. But this is about you today. And I get it. So you're in real estate making money. How were you making money? You were selling real estate, brokering?
More the investment side, and I was doing wholesale. I was doing fix and flips. I was doing luxury rentals. I had one of the largest luxury rental companies in Los Angeles.
How'd you get the money to get into this?
I started with $0 and zero connects.
So let's talk. That's very interesting to my audience, I'm sure. How do you get into the business with no money?
To be honest, you don't need any money to get into wholesaling. It's just, hustle, connects, and then just staying focused. You can sell contracts to buyers and whatnot. So you find, properties that's distressed, or, you want to, the investors want to flip. You take that
To the attention of people, you get a piece, right? I get that.
correct.
So this is when real estate in LA was just crazy. It was going straight up.
Yeah.
It went up
was
straight up
going
for like 30 years. I mean,
It did.
never a downtick.
It
I'm
did.
very familiar with all these things. I'm an investment guy and all that, and I participate in a lot of these kind of things. But so you end up hustling,
Yeah.
using your connections, relationships, you have a good vibe. I feel it, bro. I feel your energy. I feel like,
Appreciate
I
it.
feel like an aura. You have like an aura. And I love it. I'm attracted to energy and that kind of thing. I can actually see it. We're doing this podcast. It's remote. We're doing it on the Riverside app. Riverside, I'm going to give you a shout out. My team loves it. And I just want to say, you started with no money. You're 21 years old and you're making money.
I am. And
I want kids to hear this stuff.
Yeah.
And when you say you're making money, what kind of money are you making?
I scaled it all the way to a 7-figure business. So
You built it. What?
yeah,
$1 million business? You're not selling drugs?
not selling drugs.
You're not robbing people? Home
No.
invasions?
I've never
No,
been
you're
to
not
jail.
cooking up dope?
None of that. Never been to
You're
jail.
buying and selling real estate, fixing
Right.
and flipping contracts, hustling, brokering deals, getting your piece, and moving. This is what I teach, by the way. I teach young men this. I teach young women this. I'm an educator and a teacher today. I have a wonderful curriculum, and I do masterminds. But I want people to hear this is an amazing story, Maverick. I love this. So,
Yeah.
So now what happened? Why would you go to college? So you're in your 20s. You're back in LA.
Right. And
Making this kind of money. I'm sure by
Yeah.
now you have your own place, right? Your own crib.
own place, got the cars, the houses, all that stuff. And really, I kind of pioneered like the rental arbitrage sector. And, you know, as Airbnb was starting to come up,
I love it.
I was a boutique version of that, to where like I was dealing with, you know, high end clients, a lot of, you know, NBA guys, NFL guys were using my places, movie studios and whatnot. They were renting my places and whatnot. So yeah, so that kind of helped the trajectory of the business, because it was more of a business model, to where, you know, like, oh, okay, well, I can rent this house instead of, you know, from this corporate housing, you know, type of situation. I can go to this boutique service and use it for X, Y, and Z. So
this was your company? You created this company?
Yeah, this is my company.
What'd you call it? What was it called?
SoCal Locations.
Say it again.
SoCal Locations.
SoCal, I get it. I love it. Okay.
There, simple.
Very cool. Yeah, you know, the simplest things are the best usually.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. I have these friends and they try and complicate things with all these elaborate things, and you know, simple, easy works.
Yeah,
the mind process. It's cool.
Yeah,
you know, some things have to be just cool.
Right.
And it's hard for people, guys my age and people my age, to understand that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, people want cool. And if you come up with something that's cool, trendy, etc., I mean, there's a fortune to be made.
There is, especially
young guys like you on the come up.
Yeah, especially
you're looking to connect with people that are, you know, making things happen and that are cool.
Yeah, and especially in that market. And then, you know, then once Trump got in office, then it was really going crazy, and the market was great and everything else. So it was a good time.
I love it, bro. I said, now you're in your mid-20s to late 20s. Is that? How long were you doing this business? How long were you doing this?
This is over, you know, 10, 12 years. So, I've been doing it long time. And then I got into the space of tech. Then I got into recently, obviously, content creation. But behind the scenes, before that, I really got into tech and whatnot. So then I got into blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and all that stuff.
Blockchain, crypto, I got it. I understand.
Yeah. Do you have any crypto?
Depends who's asking.
Good answer. Good answer.
Depends who's asking. You know, my story is still evolving, but you know, I've been through some stuff, so you know.
Yeah, ups and downs of life, you know.
I could say yes or no. Depends.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm extremely familiar.
Good.
The blockchain is brilliant. One of my closest friends, Jason Myers, Jason, a shout out. You know, we all came from the investment world. We were stockbrokers in the 80s. Mm-hmm. You understand? We were in the markets before people knew there were markets, really.
Right.
And we grew up in the financial end of everything. He picked up on crypto immediately. One thing about if you say, Ross, I need $500, well, you owe me $500, and I peel off 500s, and Donald Trump's picture is on it, you're gonna say, bro, it's not real money, you know. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It's a physical currency.
Right.
But if you say, Ross, you owe me $5,000, and I say, all right, I'm just gonna send you 5,000 in Bitcoin. How do you know if it's real? There's a lot of fraud in the world. You understand?
Right.
And so he became a blockchain auditor at the beginning of crypto.
Right, in the beginning.
Now, imagine you're an arms dealer, or you're a cartel member. You understand? Mm-hmm. Or you're a country on a list that's being sanctioned by Trump or Obama, anybody.
Yeah, you just circumvent the whole system.
And you wanna send, you know, $50 million into Switzerland into 3 Swiss banks.
Right.
Sounds great. But once the currency gets to, let's say, quote unquote, their wallet, their vault, how do they know it's not counterfeit? How do they know some of it's not counterfeit? So you have to have blockchain auditors.
So blockchain auditors do what essentially? Like he audits, you know, the actual currency that's in the wallet, or?
Well, imagine I say I'm depositing $50 million in Bitcoin or in Ethereum or in Dogecoin or Litecoin, etc. Into a Bank of Geneva. The Bank of Geneva's got to confirm it's real money. It's real, because then they say, I got $50 million in Bitcoin. I need you to wire me $8 million in euros because I'm doing a deal in in England or whatever, in Europe. So before they're going to send the 8 million euros, they got to confirm the 50 million of Bitcoin is real.
Right. Well, the way blockchain works.
Blockchain auditor. You understand?
Yeah. So blockchain, everything is verified on the blockchain. So when you send it, like say I send you, Ross, $50 million in Bitcoin, right?
Correct.
Every transaction is linked to every other transaction previously.
Correct.
So then, like when you're sending the actual Bitcoin, it verifies like everything is a consensus. So when you're,
I understand, but just like everything else in the world, there's fraud, and there are people that look to do things rather than buy into the way things are. They look for a way to cheat. You understand?
Yeah, for sure.
Counterfeit, there's counterfeit Rolex, there's counterfeit Louis Vuitton. There's some sort of fraud and counterfeiting and everything. So an auditor is just there to confirm, because many people don't understand the blockchain. I know very little relative to, people like to you, whatever. I just know enough, but there are people that they make their living with this. They got to, you have to confirm. Listen, if you give me a couple $100, I just put it in my money clip and say thank you. But if I give it to someone that's in business, et cetera, he has a little thing that he can, rub on the 100 and verify that it's real. The level of counterfeiting and cheating is enormous. Now, I spent 9 years and 4 months in federal prison in the system. I was there with a lot of fraudsters, and the levels of fraud are so unbelievably involved. I say to these guys, if you would just put that much energy into doing something right, you'd be a billionaire.
Right. Yeah.
But they're built different, and they looking to cheat and steal identities. A million ways you can counterfeit crypto. There's a million ways. I've
never seen it. To be honest, I'll be honest, Ross. I've been in this space a long time. I have more faith in crypto than actual money.
I understand that. All I'm saying to you is, it's always nice to confirm it's real, etc. And so so you got involved in all these different things when you're still in LA or now you're in Vegas. Tell me, I'm trying to establish your timeline.
Yeah. So, I was there in LA for, most of my life. I kind of moved away a couple times and whatnot, but, I actually moved out here about a year ago. And then, being in the tech space, I partnered with, a company started Conspired TV, which is my streaming service. And it talks about all the, I guess you want to say alternative news or new media type of, situations that going on with movies, documentaries, podcasts and whatnot. I have other creators that's on the platform. So, I'm just continuing my timeline or my tech venture in that space. So
you're in LA, you built a 7-figure business, right? That's millions, $1 million plus. Okay. This is real estate. And, from there, you said you got into technology. Now, right. The technology you're talking about is
streaming,
crypto,
streaming, using blockchain technology. I actually have a real estate company as well, called Jet Set Lux, which is Airbnb on blockchain.
Lux, right? We're going to get to that because I know you have a token. You tokenize it, correct?
Tokenized experiences, real estate. That's going to be the future. This is why BlackRock established their own stock exchange, because everything's going to be tokenized in the future when it comes to real estate, stocks, everything with real world value.
Now, this is great because I know more than the average bear, but I'm by no means an expert at it. And I was out of the game for a little bit, and people are asking me, people pay me. They hire me so I can explain these kind of things and educate them. But I have you right now, so you at some point, you're in this technology and you're studying the crypto world. You're learning, correct?
Correct.
And you seem like a very bright guy. So my guess is you learn a lot by doing. That's your kind of thing.
Yes.
You're not a spectator.
Experience is the best teacher.
The greatest teacher.
Right.
I would say the only teacher, but I I don't want to get into an argument with people. I'm
Right.
in agreement with you. And your persona, the way you express yourself, which by the way is you're highly intelligent, extremely well spoken. I love your aura, bro.
Thank you.
What I want the audience to hear from you, if we could break it down. So now you're streaming. You mentioned like part of your real estate game was almost prior to Airbnb, or just when it was starting. You're a guy that I could see. You see it at the beginning of a trend. And you're willing to examine it. You're very open-minded. You're very ambitious and eager to understand. And you're still in your young. In my mind, you're first going to hit your prime in a few weeks.
That's true.
In his 40s is really where he's. I say there's no such thing as a man under 40.
That's
They're
very
boys.
true. And I can see that because it's mind, body, and soul at that point. When you're younger,
I get that.
You have the physical, and then as you get older, you have the maturity. And, men, we mature a little bit later, but then once we have it all figured out, then, we're pretty much unstoppable.
I'm hoping that I start maturing. I'm 67. I'm still waiting. According to people that know me, say I'm about emotionally mature as an 8-year-old. But what can I say? But yeah, I didn't get married till I was 41. I didn't have my first child till I was 42. And my second child at 46. And my wife, I'm now divorced, but my wife Stephanie, she was 23 years old, and she was just so much more mature than I was at 23. 25, we got married. She got married, and I'm just a dude. I'm just a guy like you, hungry. I'm on Wall Street. I'm learning the game. Going to
That's funny.
Myself.
That's funny. I actually have an ex-girlfriend named Stephanie, which is funny.
Very interesting. You're going to be 40. You're not married, right?
No, I'm not.
Never married. No children.
Nope.
No ex-wives. No baby mamas, etc.
None of that.
Okay, you straight?
Yes, I am very straight.
You identify as a man? I'm playing.
Yeah, identify as a cat or a giraffe, and that's the thing. Like, we got way too out of hand with this pronoun shit. Like, this is getting like you're either a man or a woman. Like we can't identify as this or that. It's too out of control, and that's the thing. I'm a millennial. I'm from getting into all that stuff. I just don't get it. And it's gone too far. And this is why I'm glad Trump is back, because he's like, hey, we're going to stop all this madness. We're going to stop. Let's get back to reality.
It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Let's stop this shit. So let's get back in order, because it's gone too far.
Right. I used to, it's the whole thing, identify. It doesn't matter what I identify with.
It's a construct.
You can say anything you want. To me, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Everybody should have their own.
You know why that's so dangerous? You know why that's so dangerous? And I always explain to people, it's a construct, right? Now, being, your gender is really a construct. There's male and female, but when you're saying, hey, what's your gender, what's your pronouns? These are constructs that they are creating now to control more. Law is a construct. Money is a construct. All these things are a construct.
And it's a distraction. It's a distraction.
Yeah, it's a
You're
distraction.
Free to act out your sexuality, but here's what you can't do. They talked about how Mark Zuckerberg just came out. Mad respect for what he's doing now. He says the Biden administration from the White House, they used to call his people and scream at them, take this down, take that down. And it was and the stuff was fact and true. But imagine what happens when the White House says take it down or else. Next thing you know, they have 18 different regulatory agencies coming at his company.
Right.
So it's crazy. Now, at some point, you create Conspired TV.
Correct. We just launched last year.
And that was from LA or when you were in Vegas?
Vegas. So we launched that last year, and it's a streaming service. It's an OTT platform that, we have documentaries, movies, podcasts. It's really empowering the creators, and it's more so about us versus, big studios and whatnot creating their own content. It's a place to where, not only you can have movies and documentaries, but you'll have podcasts, you'll have exclusive content from creators like myself and other people in that space, to where, because we're we're going against the grain with legacy media, and obviously that's dying, but the censorship is completely out of control. So we're in America. We have freedom of speech. We want to keep it that way. So having this platform gives us that, that voice.
And how do we find this conspiracy TV? I see, there's Look You TV, LOOKHU. Is that?
Yeah. So that's the parent company, and then that's the deal I've done with them, and they gave me my own platform.
And where do we find these networks or these channels?
Yeah, go to conspired.tv and everything will pull up.
Conspire.tv?
Conspired with a D.
With a D, conspired.tv.
Correct.
And that's going to take us to a website.
Yes, it'll take you to the platform and you can stream all day, whatever you want. We have different categories and whatnot. So it's really cool. And it has a live aspect too. So it's a hybrid between kind of like a Hulu or Netflix, but also like a TikTok, because if I wanted to go live from my phone, I can, log in and then go live directly from the website too.
You can, but I can't do that. I can just watch, correct?
Correct. So it's for creators. So it's like I'm bringing on other creators and I'm signing. And I've signed on Paranoid American. Shout out to Paranoid American. Truth Bomb Mom. I don't know if you've seen her on Instagram. She's pretty big. So yeah, we're just onboarding certain creators that, I'm curating and handpicking.
Okay, let's just say, you like me and you like what I produce. So you can say, Ross, I want to put your stuff on Conspired TV, right?
Let's do it.
Make a financial deal. Is that how
Let's
it works?
do it. Let's do it. Yep. That's how
it works.
That's how it goes.
And what do I get from that?
Well, you participate. So you have rev share. Depending on the deal, every deal is different. But when it comes to,
I wonder if there's a cookie cutter deal, like an 80-20 deal or something like that. Is that how it works?
Yeah. We usually give the creators a bulk, of the shares and whatnot. It would be like 70-30 or whatnot. Just depends on the creator themselves and their reach. But yeah, usually it's like rev share, subscription, ads and whatnot. So yeah, depending on the reach, of course.
All right, cool. I think it's the future. I think what's happening is it's a step in the right direction towards the future.
It is.
The reason I podcast and I'm creating content is because I don't have an agenda. I just want to get into Maverick Bailey. I want to understand what it is you're doing and why. In my mind, to my staff, you're important enough for me to talk to and to sort of broadcast this, to collaborate with. Because what you're doing is something we appreciate, we respect. But more importantly, I feel as if it's a step into the future. I'm going to talk to you about just the little things that we discussed today. You talked about your real estate business when you were a kid, instead of college. Mm-hmm. You started with zero money. You built a 7-figure business right before around as Airbnb first started. So you saw something in this model where you created it before then, and it was really just you were either ahead of the curve or at the beginning of the curve. That's you're a trend recognized. I get it. And technology, crypto, the blockchain, which is no question. People say to me, Ross, you're a financial guy for 40 years. I trust you. You took 140 companies public. You managed tens of billions of dollars every day. You're on a Forbes list, all these things. Is crypto for real?
It's very for real. It's more than real.
It's like saying, I know people that still wondering if the internet's here to stay.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course it's real. And
I'll tell you something.
It's going to evolve in its current form, and there's going to be a lot of scammy secondary and tertiary cryptocurrency attempts that are going to go south. Yeah. And but of course it's real. I said at the beginning of this year, I think this last year, Bitcoin was as low as 18,000 or something. I said it's going to be $100,000 by the end of the year. People thought I was crazy. five or six times on podcasts like this.
Yeah.
I said, you don't understand. Bitcoin will be $100,000 by the end of the year.
And you were right.
110 at some point.
And you were right. And that's the thing. It's programmed that way. I've seen somebody dollar cost average for over the course of 8 years spend about 80, 85 grand. Dude has over $1 million now just buying Bitcoin dollar cost averaging. So that it's programmed to do so. And that's the thing. And really, people don't understand that Bitcoin is just the beta test coin. BTC really stands for beta test coin because now we're going into a new market.
Thank you for saying that because people don't know. And
that's just the test.
I'm going to say something to you right now, right? And we're recording this, right? Today is January the 14th. It's a Tuesday. Bitcoin will be it will have hit $250,000 in value this time in 12 months. I'm letting you know. I believe it. I believe it. $250,000 a coin. Okay.
I believe it.
And it is a test coin. Now, I just say I have friends that are very smart, much smarter than me. But I've learned one of my gifts is I can identify really smart men, really smart guys. I spent my whole life on Wall Street around the most alpha of alpha males. Everybody was rich. But it's not about that. It's about sort of winning and losing every day. It's like being a gladiator.
Right.
It's about winning and losing every day. It's not about getting rich. It's not about money. It's about being great. People ask me all the time. I said, if you're working for money, you'll never have any.
Correct. It has to work for you.
For greatness, you have to try and be great at something. Period. Case closed. If you can achieve greatness, money will come to you.
Correct.
But if you work for money, you'll never have any. You'll maybe have it for a minute. You'll never keep it. So,
very true.
And I teach these things, bro. I'm available for masterminds. I'm a mentor to some, believe it or not, to a couple of men that are very famous. It's going to come out soon. But you're 100% correct about crypto and blockchain. And people say, was it too late? It's not. It's just starting.
Yeah.
I said, if you could buy Ethereum under 3,000, buy everything you can.
Yeah.
Ethereum will be.
And when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to crypto, people realize that, okay, Bitcoin hit 100,000. Okay, what's next? So when it comes to these institutions that are getting in, when you have XRP, when you have XLM, these payment rails, this is where the real money begins. Because now you have, of course, BlackRock, you have Vanguard and all these other big players in the space getting into it. MicroStrategy, these guys aren't fucking around. So when it comes to banking, the old system, Swift, is leaving. It's done. It's over with. Too clunky. It's old. When it comes to these ISO tokens, when it comes to the ISO 222 system, this is where we're headed. So when we're talking about
question, I have issues with tokenization still, NFTs and all that. I have friends that are, leaders in that field, and we have these debates. I'm still learning. I think that's very early still in the game, but there's nothing wrong with being early. I'll never forget, I read a story one time, and I thought they were talking about today, about all these people that are going in and all these, there was 1,000 entrepreneurs that got into this field and how, only 30 was going to survive this and that, whatever, then 20. And they were talking about the automobile industry.
Okay.
And it's an amazing, if you understand that story, there were 1,000 people trying to make cars, making cars, etc.
Right.
And eventually, how many do we have that actually, the brands that survived, etc.
Right.
But we certainly weren't going back to horses. And,
correct.
When we went from candles to electric lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going back to candles. It's just not going to happen. A lot of people are comfortable with crypto because it's money. And as a money guy, I can tell you, I don't want to say most, but there's such a high percentage in my mind. I think most people are more concerned about their money than they are about their own health.
Yeah.
And their own family. I hate to say it.
Right.
To me, nothing's more important than my family. Nothing. Okay?
Yeah.
And, my family's even more important than my health, but I can't experience my family if I'm not healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always say health is number one.
A great thing. They said, listen, you could have 30 very serious issues going in your life, but the second you have a health issue, you only have one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is why I take health
real.
so serious. Like, this is why I encompass everything when it comes to money, teaching crypto, your health. So this is what I talk about on Maverick Approach on my page, because I encompass all that, because you can't have, the money and everything else and the knowledge. It doesn't matter unless you don't have your health. This is why I don't eat chicken, and I don't eat pork, and I don't eat a lot of things, dairy and all these other things, because if you have a shit health lifestyle, nothing else matters. You're going to take that money, all the millions of dollars you made, and spend it on medical bills. You have to be preventative.
If you don't eat food like it's medicine, before you know it, you'll be eating medicine for food.
Correct.
Well, let me ask you now. It's two things I want to hop into here. Firstly, I wanted to make the statement. Let's forget crypto. Digital currency, a digital system. You're 100% correct. It's here. It's coming. And the old way of transacting a business currency, the existing systems are archaic already, but it's going to take a minute before the people that control those systems can make that switch over. That's a serious evolution, even more important than healthcare to the people in power that have. But now you astounded me. Maverick Bailey doesn't eat chicken.
Yeah,
doesn't
chicken.
Eat pork.
Chicken is the only meat that causes, as you eat it, it's the only meat that creates mucus and acid at the same time.
Really? Chicken?
Chicken. So I have a doctor, a holistic doctor, who has, an extensive, incredible medical record. I go to him for everything, for, my needs. And he told me chicken is so bad that he would eat pork or anything else 10 times over before he eats chicken. Lab made chicken now, like they have it, in every restaurant. They don't have to disclose what's lab made, what's not, and everything else. So now it's like, I haven't eaten chicken in probably about almost 4 years now.
You eat red meat?
I eat red meat, yes. But I don't eat pork. I don't eat chicken.
What
just
else?
Turkey and lamb.
You eat turkey or you don't eat turkey?
I do eat turkey. Turkey and lamb I eat.
Lamb?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, anything else, no. That's out the window.
And the reason is because you've looked into these things and you've come to the decision that they're not healthy for you.
Yeah. Every disease is linked to being acidic or having a ton of mucus in your body. Every disease.
I hate to say it. I wish I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I understand it both.
Yeah.
And so you ingest food products that reduce acidity and mucosity, really.
I don't even eat breakfast. Like, I took breakfast completely out of my regimen.
Breakfast you don't eat?
I don't eat breakfast at all. I don't eat until I eat after 11. So about 11, 12.
So you do the fasting program.
I do.
In an odd way.
The longest woman, the oldest woman to ever live, she's from France. She did the same exact thing. She didn't eat until 11 or 12 o'clock. She had a cup of coffee every day. She even smoked. She lived to be over 120 years old. I believe she was like 125, 130. The oldest woman to ever live. She didn't eat breakfast at all, because it's called breaking your fast, really, right?
Breaking your fast. I did intermittent fasting for a while, and it was really phenomenal.
It's amazing.
It makes so much. It allows your body to heal for 18 hours, whatever. How long do you try and get all your eating within like 5 or 6 hours or whatever it is?
Yeah, in a short window. Yeah, so like I'll have a meal. Usually I'll eat once a day, maybe twice, or like have once, like one snack or something if I eat. But that's about it. Because if your body's digesting all day, it doesn't have time to heal or rest.
Correct. 90% of the body's energy is used to digest.
Right. So if you're eating, especially 90%. If you're eating especially if you're eating a bunch of bullshit, then your body has to work even harder. So, so that's what I do. I don't eat breakfast at all.
All right, let me talk to you about this. This is something that I believe this is something that separates you from a lot of people. The Jet Set Token.
Yes.
You're the CEO of Jet Set Token. And that Maverick, literally, you integrate luxury travel and real estate, as we discussed. You combine it somehow with blockchain technology. Right. And you showcase this innovative approach by merging traditional industries using this modern tech. Before we get to the content creation, I want you to try and explain this to regular people.
For sure.
What you're doing is fascinating, but it's hard we have to try and break it down now.
Yeah. And I love to teach. And this is what I do. I teach, blockchain technology, cryptocurrency.
Jet Set Token is what?
So Jet Set Lux is the platform. The token is a token for where you can experience the platform. So I have tokenized events. So if you're a holder, you get to go to my exclusive events. I have events, pretty much all around the country, soon to be all around the world. And it's just to come hang out. And, these events can be, I had a 4th of July party before. I had, Halloween events and whatnot. And then we'll actually use one of our locations so people can actually experience where we're, actually hosting, on the platform. So
now this is a digital token or is it a physical token?
It's a digital token. So
I can't hold it in my hand.
It's in your wallet. It's in your wallet.
Whoa,
digital wallet.
The wallet's not remember, I'm trying to talk to people that don't understand. So the wallet is not something you can hold, right? Like my daughter just got a beautiful Gucci wallet for Christmas from her boyfriend's family. Beautiful. So this is not the kind of wallet we're talking about. What are we talking about?
Does your daughter have a phone?
She does have a phone.
Okay, so on that phone is the wallet. So she's holding her wallet.
Like an Apple wallet, right?
Exactly. Everything is digital already. Most people will be like, whoa, this cryptocurrency stuff, it's new. It's like, well,
correct.
You do realize that only 3 to 5% of physical money is in circulation. The rest of it is digital. We're already in a digital system. People don't grasp that.
I owned a bank, right? I actually owned a bank. I had a banking license. I was a member of the London Stock Exchange. I owned a bank in Europe, and I had a license to go through all of Europe. So I understand more than the average bear.
Right.
Most people do not understand.
Right.
I'm in the stock business, right? I create companies, this and that. People say, am I going to get a certificate? And there's only a couple of companies now left that actually issue certificates. I said, everything is done in book entry. It's all digital today.
Right.
Your ownership is entered in a book. Where's the book? It's a digital book. People don't understand. So we issue shares now just because it makes people feel comfortable. Actually, they can hold something. It's tangible to them. But so explain to us the concept of a wallet and a token. How do I own a token? I want to go to one of your events.
Yeah.
It's a token. How do I get a token?
So you go to one of the exchanges that we're listed on, or you can go to jetsettoken.com, and we have our own exchange on there. You enter in your details as far as you take Apple Pay, a card, anything, and you purchase the token right there. So when you have a wallet, that is the ownership. When you have a digital wallet like an Exodus or a MetaMask or anything like that, it's an app that you download. And then when you accept these tokens, when you buy these tokens, you're the only person that owns those tokens. It's called self-custodial. So when you open up a wallet, you have 12 phrases that only you know. It's like the keys to your house or your car. You never give the keys to if you have a house, which is your wallet, this is how I explain it. You have 12 phrases, which are your keys. You would never give your keys to your house.
You say
12 phrases. So it's a 12.
Explain what that means.
12 words.
Correct.
12 random words that you have that only you know, that Ross knows.
These are like your passwords, the keys to your digital world, let's say.
Correct. So think of it like your keys to your house or your car. You would never duplicate that and give it to somebody because you're letting them rob you. So when you have,
you might give it to your wife, your son, your daughter, your relatives, but
but people you trust.
Right. It's like giving your password to Facebook account or whatever it is. I have people who handle all my social media.
Yeah, exactly.
But they have no idea regarding any wallet I might or might not have.
Right. So this is why I always teach self-custodial, because we have a saying in the space.
These tokens have some sort of value. I mean, you can take a token and turn it into money, right? You can buy products with tokens. You can go on luxury vacations if you have enough tokens that represent enough money. Correct. It's interchangeable. Correct. I'm trying to explain it so people understand it. Most people that don't understand are afraid to ask these questions.
Right.
So, I'm asking these questions right now.
Right. So when you have these tokens, you can rent one of our villas, or you can rent one of our cars, or even we curate packages as well. So when say you go to Airbnb, you have a house and, you rent a house on Airbnb. What we do is we make it even simpler. If you want to have a house, a car, a house, a car, a chef, we curate these packages for you to where you don't have to go to 5 different places. And you can use the token to get discounts. You can use the token to do, to interact with, different protocols. We have different, games. We gamify a lot of stuff. So using the token gives you a lot more benefits.
Can I use a token to pay for the whole thing?
Correct. You can. And you can use a fiat currency too. So we're not excluding fiat currency because we know we still
say that again. Say that again.
So you can still use money too.
Or you can use
a token.
Currency.
Yeah. If you use our token, you have, different discounts that we activate for you.
Okay. So your tokens are, if I had a token, I wanted to turn it into money right now. Is there a value?
Correct.
And what would that value be at this moment in time?
It fluctuates. So right now we're around $1 million. Our all-time high is $8 million. And
one token.
No, not one token. It's basically fractions of a penny right now. So it's still a great time to get in. But once we get to that level,
a fraction of a penny. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's where Bitcoin started. That's where everything starts, right? I understand it's like a par value. That's
right.
I have stock right now available at 1,000th of a penny.
Right.
That par value.
Yeah.
But value is hypothecated based on what somebody is willing to pay or accept for it. Correct.
So
I'll never forget a very famous guy bought 100 Bitcoins when they were like $30.
Wow.
And today it's $100,000 for one coin. You understand?
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be the Bitcoin pizza guy. Don't be that guy where he paid.
Right. He used all his Bitcoin to buy pizza today.
He used $10 million. 10,000 Bitcoin for a Papa John's pizza.
So you have curated these sort of lifestyle vacations, really, because you have a chef and a car and all these different things. And you're packaging things up and you're tokenizing everything. And, I want people to understand this is a glimpse into the future.
Correct.
This is really a glimpse into the future. And Maverick Bailey is offering you that glimpse in real life.
Yeah. More so than
crypto. A lot of people will watch you. I'll never forget Ray Kroc opened up one McDonald's. And some people say, let's see how he does, right?
Yeah.
One
more
McDonald's.
so, I would say more so than crypto, to be honest. I think blockchain, the technology itself, is much more important because it's going to affect.
I agree.
It's going to affect every industry from medical to stocks to real estate, everything.
The concept. Now, people don't understand the blockchain. What was his name? Takeshi, Japanese. It's an alias, we know.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Was it 2012? When he released that paper.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Correct.
After the big crash of '08, Bitcoin came into play, and this was a hedge against inflation. This was because people didn't trust the markets anymore. After that, people were losing their homes, ruining their lives. So Satoshi Nakamoto came along and released, the peer-to-peer white paper explanation of Bitcoin. So this is where it
Everything
came.
about it has been built. That we know the crypto digital currency world has been based on that, the concept he introduced at that time. Now, I want
Yes.
to give you some information, and all the viewers should know that the United States government blamed the entire 0809 crash on me.
Really?
Yeah, they told the jury in federal court, Southern District of New York, that I caused that crash. And I'm the reason why they all lost their jobs, their homes, and all these different things.
Just you?
Me, Ross Mandel, Southern District of New
Wow.
York. I'm the finale on American Greed. You know that show, American Greed, on CNBC?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the finale of season 9.
Wow.
Called The Sky's the Limit. They discredit me for the crash, just if you can imagine. And the judge just sat there and didn't say a word.
Wow.
So, tell us about now the Maverick approach. You're the host of your own podcast,
Yes.
right? You talk
I
about
am.
conspiracies, obviously technology, societal issues, and
Right.
you committed to exploring, I guess, sort of what they call unconventional topics. That's fair to say.
That is fair to say.
Talk about this a little bit, your podcast. I want people
Yeah.
to know we've identified you as someone that's on the come up. You're an up and comer. You see things that other people don't see. That's why I'm talking to you today.
Appreciate it.
We're looking at you and what you're doing today. We've examined you. And I have
Yes.
a world-class team. I want you to know that. I have a world-class team of multimillionaires, smart people, etc. They've identified you and what you're doing as sort of huge, exciting.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
and we thank you for coming on. And so you have a podcast. Explain a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the Maverick approach is essentially just what you explained. It's, I'm being that beacon of light to where a lot of crazy shit is going on. People don't know what's going on. People don't trust the government. They don't trust the legacy media. So we have to put the pieces together, but there's so much stuff. There's so much overload, sensory overload. People are looking left, looking right, up, down. They don't know what to think or like where to look.
Correct.
So that's what I do. I do investigative journalism. I look into a lot of these, crazy events that happen and kind of give my 2 cents on what's happening and maybe shed some light that they wouldn't else know. Like, hey, take a look at this, ask this question. And that's all I want to do. I want to spark minds to make sure people are asking questions because nothing is what it seems. And that's the thing. And then I also teach, of course, health, cryptocurrency and everything else. So yeah, that's essentially what I do because people need it more than ever.
And it's called the Maverick approach. I'm sure you're on YouTube, Spotify, etc. All the platforms.
Yeah, all the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, X.
You
all
release
those
clips
platforms.
and all that, right? You have a little
I
social
do.
media, right?
I
know
do.
You have a presence on Instagram, and you share your insights and your thoughts, etc.
Yes.
Conspired TV launch. I love it. June of 24.
Yeah.
That's what you announced. A premium channel on Look You TV.
Yes.
Check that out. And I want my audience to check it out. I get a lot of people looking at this, and I see you as a legitimate glimpse into the future, into what's trending. See, a lot of people read about this shit, or they read about it on social media, on a platform, but you're actually doing these things.
Yes.
You actually are tokenizing a business. You're not just reading about it or talking about it. You're actually, in a sense, broadcasting. What they call unconventional or conspiracy type theory.
Right.
Things that NBC, ABC, and CBS are not even giving you a clue about.
Right. And this is why legacy media is dying because, you have Time Magazine and you have MSNBC for sale and nobody wants to buy it.
Correct.
CNN, all these guys,
Worthless now.
They're down 50% since the election. So that should tell you something.
And you see, there's a difference in my life between the people that study things read up on things, talk about things, then there's a small sliver of men and women that say, I'm in. I see it. I'm in. And oftentimes, men like you and myself, we look at things and we jump in and we learn along the way. Everyone thinks I got to understand it before I can actually do it.
Right.
What people don't realize about the world is 99% of people that are actually doing, they don't know. They're figuring it out.
Right.
We'll work it out. You know, this podcast today, I'm hosting this podcast on this new software that we have. Obviously, we've been on other podcasts using, the same thing, but
right.
We're doing it. We're figuring it out.
Right, and that's all it takes.
Go forward, and I think you look great, and I look like I look, and the things that you're doing, I think, are really cool, and they're revolutionary. Revolutionary.
Thank you.
They really
Thank
are.
you.
And you're going to figure it out as you go forward. There are things that you've been doing, you probably will shut down and say, you know what, not working out, not for me, but you're going to focus your energy on things that are working and that you feel confident in, all that. And so I'm urging people to check out Conspired TV and to look at Maverick and understand the things that he's doing, because he's up to speed on the blockchain. Talk about AI real quick.
Ooh, AI.
We haven't mentioned those two letters because, let's face it, AI is now here. It's not
only it's here, but this year alone, it's going to affect or displace 85 million jobs in America.
Wow.
So, but the good news is, here's the good news. If you reskill, it's going to create 97 new million jobs. Now, when people say that, well, how is it going to create 97 new million jobs? Well, that's if you reskill. This is why I teach, AI and crypto and everything else, because when you're learning these tools, you can create a business out of them. I've taught people how to learn how to use AI to create their own YouTube channels, a faceless YouTube channel where it's automated. I've taught people how to use it in marketing, because that's going to be a big one.
Unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable.
Even AI right now has passed the medical bar. It's passed the law. It's lawyers. It took its first case last year and represented somebody in an actual case. So that's
crazy.
So this is where we're headed.
I find it crazy, but I get it. It's like these cabs, the unmanned cabs. You just get in the car and it drives you.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
News is if you don't kill anything, it's successful.
I always say they always put it in the movies. Do you remember the movie Demolition Man, Total Recall, all those movies?
All of them.
Isn't that where we're at right now? Like, it's literally always in the movies first.
Yeah, it's science fiction is just science that hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. So
I tell you, when I was a little kid, I was 7 years old in 1964. And my parents were all excited. I'll never forget. I was 7 years old. My brother was 4. And the World's Fair was in like Queens, New York. It was 30 minutes from my house.
Which Trump is bringing back. He's bringing those back, the World Fairs.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I want you to know that every single thing that we witnessed at the World's Fair is now in use today, is in our society today. Even the cars.
Yeah, the World's Fair. What's funny about the World's Fair too is that when they used to have the World's Fair in the early 1800s or the late 1800s, early 1900s, they had these amazing structures, and people were saying that, well, where are these structures today? They were saying that these structures don't exist anymore and everything else. So I feel like they're really hiding more technology and more than what we know, because we had these amazing structures that they built in less than a year. Even the Yankee Stadium was built under a year. Most people don't know that.
Well, the one in Queens that I went to was still there, the structure.
Yeah.
It's still there. It was in the movie, the Will Smith movie, Men in Black.
Yeah. So where are these structures today? If you look at, the World Fair in San Francisco and Chicago, they had these crazy, amazing structures. And I feel like they're holding back a lot of architecture and technology from us.
One thing we learned, and it's a shock, the government might actually lie to us.
Surprise,
shocking,
surprise.
Right?
Surprise, surprise.
You have to now re-examine everything you ever heard. Now, I got a couple of quick questions before we finish. And this helps to give me and our viewers a little insight into you that maybe we haven't gotten yet. So I'm just going to ask you some questions, okay?
All right.
Who do you believe is the most powerful person in the world right now? You have to pick one.
Just one.
I know it's tough.
I would say somebody who we don't know. We don't know their name.
Interesting.
We don't know their name. We don't know their face. Somebody who's controlling Elon. Somebody who's controlling who operates outside of the government. I believe there's a shadow government.
I think that's a highly to me. This is me now, my opinion. That's a highly educated comment. Because we don't know who's running this country. There's no name.
No.
But that's a good answer. Some people would say Musk. Some people would say Trump. Some people would say the premier of China.
No.
I mean, Trump will control all those nukes and all that. You know, the president. But somebody generally controls the president. Now, this guy's a little different.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It instigates more thought.
It does.
That comment. Who do you think has had the greatest influence on modern technology?
The greatest influence on modern technology. I would say. I would say Elon. I would have to go with him.
Musk.
I would have to say Elon.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
I tell you what, I'm so fond of him. I'm in agreement. He's showing us a lot of things, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm making an electric car. Basically, created PayPal.
Yeah,
I'm gonna build a rocket that flies. We're gonna move to Mars.
Yeah,
and
so you got it.
We're gonna send it up, and it's gonna land. That was the most unbelievable thing to witness. That a reusable rocket.
Yeah.
All right, this is interesting. Which historical figure might secretly hold the key to a major conspiracy?
Historical figure, Nikola Tesla.
Wow. Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla.
I'm a fan of him as well.
Yeah.
Great answer. I mean,
yeah, he was amazing.
People would have picked like an Abe Lincoln or a president or something. But I like what you said. Maybe
yeah,
Robert Oppenheimer.
Him too.
Or Einstein.
Him too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they know things that was a major conspiracy. Somehow Russia got our nuclear technology, etc.
And what most people don't know about Tesla too, that he died broke, but he had major inventions. He created free energy, but also that after he died, guess who came in and confiscated all his works that the FBI hired?
Yeah,
John Trump.
What's his name? J. Edgar Hoover. He was involved in.
Yeah, and he hired John Trump, which is Donald Trump's uncle, who was also an engineer himself, and confiscated all his workings and said he didn't find anything. But I feel like they have a lot of great technology from him.
I think they stole a lot of things. That's what I think.
There you go.
Yeah. Who would you suspect is most likely to have faked their own death?
Epstein.
Crazy questions.
Epstein.
Who?
Epstein.
Yeah. That's, you know what? I tell you something interesting. A lot of people will say that. A lot of people will say that he had the keys to hurt a lot of people. And he said blatantly he was going to do it.
Yeah, and nobody knows how really he made his money. He was a billionaire, but nobody really knew. He was a financial advisor, but it's through blackmail. And that's the thing.
Everybody.
He had so much info, and he's probably back on his island right now.
I met him a couple of times.
Really?
Well, I was formally introduced to him when I was interviewed at Bear Stearns in 1985. I was like an up-and-coming broker. I was like a real stud. I'm 28 years old. Everybody wanted me. And I I'm doing real business. I was
Wolf of
known as
Wall
a
Street. Wolf of Wall
real
Street.
come up guy on Wall Street, and I was deciding where to go, which firm. Everybody was offering me $300,000 up front, $500,000, like an athlete. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Bear Stearns for an interview, and then they walked me around, and they introduced me to this guy that was really another guy really on the come up that was making tons of fucking money, and it was Jeffrey Epstein. And he was a crew, and he was a former teacher, and I sat in a room in his office for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, got to know him and all this and that. And there was something about him that made me very distrustful. He gave off, he was a handsome guy. He was a good looking man, very good looking guy, and very good salesman. I don't want to say great, but he was a good salesman, but he was very smart. And they told me at the time he was a mathematical genius. And could be. I don't know. I didn't know him that well. Something about him was creepy to me. And when I was in prison, I was in a protective custody unit for a while, where a lot of pedophiles were, and men that were convicted of sex crimes and this and that, because these guys are not safe in prison.
Right.
They're just not safe.
Yeah.
They're in prison. And so oftentimes, if they are somebody, like if they have money, a great lawyer, whatever, they get put into this protective custody thing. And I ended up in it's a big unit. There was maybe 30 out of 150 guys in the unit, but were convicted pedophiles, they call them. They called them chomos in prison, child molesters. And there was something about them. They all had like a common thread. It's hard to explain, but I, lived in a unit with 30 guys like that. I'm a friendly guy, talk to people, and because of who I am, who I had been on Wall Street, etc., I was a big name in the news, and they put me on American Greed, and they had a couple TV shows made about me, all these different things, and some of these guys would flock to me and ask me questions to try and friend me, this, that, and the other thing. But I also had young daughters and pictures of these young girls on my bulletin board. And I had to take them down because I got a heads up from somebody that some of these guys would just stand outside my cell and look through the window.
Man, that's crazy.
And my bulletin board, that's how sick these fucking guys are. But I want you to know that the feeling I had around them, I got a similar feeling for this Jeffrey Epstein.
So do you think
was we were on the come up in Manhattan in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And the 90s. And there was spots, like social spots, like the right guy would open up the right restaurant, a place called Canistell's. And then there was Mexican restaurant and strip clubs and all these different places. And I would run into him there all the time. And he was like a tall, handsome guy, and he had a presence, and people would flock to him because he's always paying the bill. He had plenty of money. But I was the same way. I had my own little crowd, you know what I mean? And
right.
My own posse and my own guys. And, we would wave. Of course, we would shake hands. How you doing? What's shaking? How you doing? He invited me to Florida, this and that. And I look back and I say that, if I hung out with him, like his game was, introduce men to sort of get access to young girls.
Right.
So my guess is a lot of guys, bid on that. They didn't know they were being filmed, recorded, all these different things. That's just all allegedly. I don't know more than that. But his sort of death, execution, or his fake death is 100%. There's a lot more involved to the story. He didn't kill himself. I can tell you for sure he didn't kill himself.
Well, I mean, that night, he, for one, the guards fell asleep. Then, the cameras
didn't work.
Cameras didn't work. It's like,
you
okay.
Understand. They moved him out of protective custody. They put him in the general population just that day. Come on, stop it.
Right.
Great answer. Who do you think could be behind the most significant political cover-up of our time?
Political cover-up?
Yeah.
Who's responsible for it? I would say probably Bush Jr.
Wow. Great answer. Interesting answer.
Bush Jr. for sure.
Very possible.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the this Biden administration, this regime. But you want to know what? That's a great answer. What
Yeah, I
was
mean,
really behind 9/11, what
right.
the Saudis involved. I mean, there's a lot of really interesting things we could talk about.
Yeah, and I think the Biden administration, like, it could be with Ukraine and whatnot, but I mean, now that people are much more, the veil has been lifted. I think people are seeing right through that. So there's not much of a cover up. Like the administration was kind of just a bunch of bumbling idiots. So there's not much of a cover up there. But I think back then, yeah, like I think that it was a lot more cloak and dagger, and we're still kind of in the dark. So, you know, a lot of stuff is starting to come about when it comes to that administration.
The Kennedy assassination, you know, Trump says he's going to reveal all that.
Do you think that's going to come out?
Interesting things. It's about extraterrestrials. Do you believe? Okay. Do you believe there are some aliens?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Walking around or flying around. Do you think the government knows about it?
Of course. I feel like we reverse engineer a lot of their technology. I feel like not only they're out there, but there's multiple entities out there. You know, some are, you know, interdimensional. Some are, you know, that are, I've heard, friendly. Some are heard that are not so friendly. But here's the thing. Why would you have in Nevada 80% of the land be government owned, and what's there?
Right.
Area 51 and everything else. Right. So, you know, most of that land you can't access. So why would you have a whole place dedicated to something that technically doesn't exist if it didn't?
Now, these are things that you might talk about on Conspired TV or on your podcast, etc.
Correct. So, you know, all these different things for sure. When it comes to aliens, politics, you know, conspiracies or whatnot. But yeah.
I love it. So tell us one more time. Who are you and how do we find you? I always like to begin and end.
Yes. So Maverick Approach on all socials, Maverick Approach. And you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. Check out conspired.tv. And yeah, that's all my handles. Just type in Maverick Approach. I'll come right up.
I love it. Last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where's Maverick Bailey in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would say I will have one of the biggest tech companies on earth. And I also would have the biggest brand on earth when it comes to Maverick Approach.
You know what? That's I love a man that has big goals, big. You know, and you're a doer. We know you're a doer. We know you're going to be working at attaining these goals. There's a series of steps you're going to take. I want to say that it was a privilege to meet you today. You're a special cat.
Same.
You're
Thank you. Appreciate
cat. You're a doer. You know what? You're not even much of a talker. You're a doer, bro.
I'm a doer.
Make it happen guy. And I love that. You know, I see that. You're a good listener and you're very well spoken. And, I'm now a fan.
Thank you.
I'm going to subscribe to all these different, you know, I want to see this streaming channel and I want to follow you on social media and I want to hear, you know, your interactions and maybe one day, you know, you'll invite me on your podcast if I get,
let's do it.
If I get big enough and I'm cool enough and all those things. So
come on the channel.
I want to thank you. Great to meet you. God bless you. You're a serious guy. And, it's so exciting now for me. We're going to be following the trajectory of your life now, your path, because that's one of the beautiful things about what we do. People can tune in and see what we're doing day to day. So I just want to say God bless. Have a great day, bro. I hope to see you soon.
Definitely. We'll definitely have you on the show. We'll get that pinned in. Let's do it.